Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting for February 24th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Commissioner Buss?
Present.
Commissioner Cohan?
Here.
Commissioner McMahon?
Here.
Commissioner Newman?
Here.
Chair Lanson?
And I am here. Are there any written comments, announcements, supplemental packages, Mr. Parker?
There are none this evening, Chair.
I have not been handed any public comments that I know of. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments? No public comments, so we'll go on to that. We will then go to item 6, the consent calendar. Would any commissioners like to comment with regard to the minutes or make a motion?
I move that we accept the minutes as given to us.
Any comment? Madam Chair, please prepare us for a vote.
Motion carries 4-1. Commissioner Newman abstaining.
Just waiting for it to clear my screen. I'm stuck on the vote. There we go. Item 7, public hearing. Madam Clerk, could you please open the public hearing?
Item 7A, hearing having been advertised as required by law, is hereby open to consider Agenda Item 7A, precise plan of design number PPD 2019-70850 to allow the construction of a new 2-story single-family dwelling, replacing a previously existing 1-story residence, a Woolsey fire loss, including associated development that includes retaining walls, landscape, hardscape, and grading. The new dwelling has an addition of floor area over 50% of the original footprint of the previously existing residence. Located at 2431 Sapper Street, the applicant is Liberty Construction and Investments, James Ange.
Thank you. I believe, Ms. McAtee, you have the report. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Chair Lanson, members of the Planning Commission. The project before you tonight is a request to allow the construction of a 2-story residence to replace a home lost in the Woolsey fire, including an addition of floor area over 50% of the original footprint of the previously existing residence located at 2431 Sapper Street. The property is east of Erbs Road and west of Westlake Boulevard, shown here on the vicinity map. The property is located at the end of Sapper Street on the east side of the cul-de-sac. Here in the aerial view, you can see the original home that was lost in the Woolsey fire in November of 2018. There were 31 homes and 2 commercial buildings fully destroyed in the Woolsey fire, and 14 homes were partially destroyed. 16 fully or partially destroyed homes have received building permits to rebuild and are currently under construction. 2 partially destroyed homes have been rebuilt and have received final inspections. And there have been 9 PPDs submitted for fully destroyed homes, 6 of which have received approvals. Although City Council has waived all planning review fees associated with any full or partial Woolsey fire rebuild, any project triggering a PPD review will still require a planning entitlement process and plan check process to receive building permits. Both processes are being expedited for all construction associated with the Woolsey fire. This is the first Woolsey fire rebuild, prompting a Planning Commission review due to the additional square footage. And this slide shows the original home lost on the left side of the screen and the other home lost on Sapper Street to the right due to Woolsey fire. The original dwelling was 2,505 square feet, including a two-car garage. The lot size of the project site is 24,394 square feet and is located within a substantially developed neighborhood, primarily consisting of single-family residences. The proposed two-story home is 4,473 square feet, and it includes a two-car garage and storage area. The second story is 841 square feet and is only 23.5% of the overall square footage. This is the street view of the project looking east. Here you can see the original driveway is still in place. These are the views from the south end looking north towards a privately owned vacant lot. And at the top of the existing driveway towards the neighbor to the south. Here is the proposed site plan. The proposed garage is located on the northeast side of the property at the end of the proposed driveway. You can also see the proposed site improvements, including the widening of the driveway and the rear patio area. And this is an overlay of the original footprint on the proposed site plan. Here is the proposed first floor plan. And showing the second floor plan with the roof below. This site is located west of protected open space owned by Costco and south of a privately owned vacant lot. There is a 100-foot off-site brush clearance requirement for all combustible structures. The applicant has received an easement from the neighbor to the north to perform the required brush clearance and is currently awaiting an easement from Costco staff. The property is, you're looking at the east end. Oh, excuse me. The Costco property is located above the property line, which is the east side, and the private owner is located to the north of the property, which is on the bottom left. Here are the proposed elevations. The front elevation, when you come up to the driveway, is located on the very top, which faces north. And this is the colors and materials proposed for the new dwelling. Per the Thousand Oaks Municipal Code, Section 9-4.1808B22, Planning Commission approval is required for the demolition and rebuilding of a single-family detached home where the total floor area exceeds 150% of the original building floor area. In this case, the proposed project includes a first floor and second floor addition that is 178.56% of the original building footprint. For environmental review, this project is a Class 2 exemption of Section 15302 for replacement or reconstruction of existing structures, and a Class 3 exemption of Section 15303 for new construction. This project is consistent with the Thousand Oaks General Plan, including the land use element. The design complies with all applicable laws, regulations, and policies, including the Thousand Oaks Municipal Code, and is consistent with the city's precise plan of design guidelines. The proposed residence will blend in with the surrounding environment and is compatible with the surrounding development. The project will not be detrimental to public health, safety, or general welfare. Staff is recommending that the Planning Commission approve PPD 2019-70850 based on the findings and subject to the conditions of approval. And staff is available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McAtee. Commissioner comments, questions? Commissioner Newman?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening, Ms. McAtee. Thank you for your report. I just have a couple of questions. One of the conditions for this application requires undergrounding of power and utility lines. On the property or nearby in the adjacent open space, there are several high power and telephone lines. Would any of those be undergrounded as a result of this project?
No, they wouldn't.
Okay. And then also in your report this evening, you mentioned that the applicant has not yet received an easement from Costco. Is there any reason to believe that that easement would not be forthcoming from Costco?
No, I've been working with Costco staff, and they just needed time to draft the easement, but they are going to agree to that easement and draft it.
All right, very good. Thank you, that's all.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. Commissioner Buss?
Yeah, I just have one question. Thank you for the presentation. That was awesome. My question is, did you receive any feedback from any of the neighbors or any kind of public correspondence?
We didn't receive any complaints, but we do have 2 letters of support, including the neighbor that is there to the south and the neighbor across the street.
Was that it? Any questions? I just had 2 brief ones. This is not part of a homeowner association, correct? There's no HOA as part of this property?
There is an informal HOA, the Kevington group.
Is there anything about that HOA, well, maybe I'll ask the applicant, that would control the timing of when the activity can occur? Because I know we said 7 to 7 in the documents. I didn't know if there may be an HOA prohibition against, before a Saturday on 8 a.m. or something.
No, but they are following other track conditions as well.
Okay, and I can ask the applicant. Second of all, I think you made an indication that all fees were being waived. But I was looking at item 12, which talks about, the appeal time about fees. Is that just perfunctory? Is there still some fees the applicant may end up facing?
Those fees are referring to the initial planning entitlement fees. So when you submit for a PPD, those fees are waived. But I think any other fees after that, it depends, because building and safety fees are not waived. There's other fees that they might have to pay.
I just want to make sure the applicant was aware of that not every single penny was being waived, if there was going to be some additional cost. One last thing as I'm sitting here, the easement that we're talking about, is this, I'm assuming, is a recorded document that's going to run with the land that will be the obligation of any further property owner? Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions, commissioners? All right, I think we'll have the applicant now, which will have 15 minutes, I believe. Mr. Ainge, you and I think your architect, Mr. Lerman, however you want to split that up, you'll have 15 minutes.
Thank you. So my name is Jim Angie, my wife Lori Angie, and I am a builder in the area. This is not a house for spec building or anything like that. This is a house that we want to retire in. We both have 6 grandchildren, and the reason we needed to get a little bit larger is because we have a large family. That's why we went a little bigger with the house. And it's actually a downsized home for us, and we hope to stay in this one forever. We did add the second story because the lot it's a half-acre lot, but it's a small pad, building pad. And the only way we can get that extra footage for the extra bedrooms was to be able to have a second story on there. I think Brian and Sean have done a wonderful job on the design. We're really happy with it. In fact, I think we supported it on their first draft. It was exactly what we wanted. I did indeed get a easement to the north from the property owner, private property owner. And specifically, I was worried about my family as they come over, have places to park. So we did get a little 5,000 square foot easement from him. Gives us that opportunity to get some additional parking in it. You know, it's easier for access for fire department and everything else too. The neighbors, we have spoke to the neighbors, and we went to see them. We showed them the plan, and they actually were really excited about it. I had asked them, I said, if you can give us some support, we would appreciate it. And they both emailed me. And then a third neighbor directly across the street called me and said he has no problem with it either. He looked at the plan, but I didn't get a supporting email from him. I didn't give him my email address. I don't have a whole lot to say. I think it's, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, you can ask us, but we're excited about it. I know it's been a long haul waiting for us to get this going. Had I known that there was a square footage issue, I probably would have downsized even a little bit more not to wait, but I think we're all good. So, do you guys have any questions for me, or?
Let me find out. Commissioners, any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Newman?
Just one, sir. The application says Liberty Construction. Thank you for coming to speak tonight. Is that your company?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just had the follow-up question on a homeowner association. Is there any HOA that you know of?
I am not aware of one that we have to go through architectural guidelines. Brian, have you? No? No? Okay.
I have nothing further at this time. Thank you.
Actually, one of my competitors lives on the same street. It's going to be my friendly neighbor. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll go back to the staff to see if there's any further comments that you guys want to give us.
No further comments, Chair.
Thank you. And again, I have no other public speaker cards. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and invite comments from commissioners or a motion. Commissioner Buss would like to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, but I am unable to electronically do so, so I'll do so verbally. I'd like to add a comment to this. I'm familiar with Mr. Angie's construction company and the work he's done in this community for a long time. I'm excited that he's able to rebuild up there. And during the Woolsey fires, I actually stood at the end of Sapper Street with a gentleman from the gas company surveying the fire as it was moving through. And I saw the damage to that home at the time. And so this does bring back some scary memories for me. But I'm excited to see what you build up there. Thank you.
Any other comments? Commissioner Newman?
I want to thank you for rebuilding in our community after the fire. I'll definitely support this motion. I'll also note that if you or anyone in your family are cyclists, that they will be the strongest cyclists in Thousand Oaks living at the top of Sapper Street.
Any other commissioner comments?
Yes, thank you and your wife for rebuilding here in the community. I'm supportive of the project. I think it's a beautiful design. And I feel it fits within the neighborhood as well.
And then lastly, for myself, I'll support it as well. And I also support, hopefully, you and your neighbor's ability to get fire insurance coverage going forward, depending on how the insurance companies go. So with that, Madam Clerk, please prepare us for a vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
As this is a decision, there is an appeal process. Any aggrieved party who wishes to appeal the Planning Commission's decision may do so by filing an appeal with the Community Development Department within 10 days. Thank you. Number 8 on our calendar, department reports. Mr. Parker?
There are none tonight, Chair.
So then we will go to item 9, Commission comments and AB 1234 reports. Commissioner Newman?
I want to note briefly that our primary election, part of Super Tuesday, is a week from tomorrow, and encourage everyone in Thousand Oaks, if you're in vote by mail, to go ahead and fill out your ballot and get it in. There's drop-off boxes here at City Hall where the clerk has an office, and I believe either at the Global Center or the CRPD offices, I'm not sure. And I want to again commend a tweet that Commissioner Lanson sent out that if you're not registered to vote, you still have time to do so. You can do that at the DMV, and if for some reason you're opposed to going to the DMV, you can go to the county clerk's website, which is recorder.countyofventura.org, and there are very clear instructions there. I hope everyone will register. I hope everyone will vote. If you don't like the government, this is your chance to do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. I actually had a client that came to my office and had just gone through a process of citizenship and was beyond excited to be able to vote for the first time. So it's a right we don't necessarily think about all the time, but something we all should take advantage of. Other commissioner comments? Okay. Item 10, staff report. Back to you, Mr. Parker.
Okay. So on the staff front, we have no announcements. However, our next Planning Commission meeting is shaping up well. It's looking like it's going to be March 16th at this point.
Not the adjournment to February 24th indicated in item 11?
Yes, we would prefer not to reopen the hearing.
Okay. Thank you. With that, I think we're adjourned for the night, and we'll adjourn to March 16. Is that what you said? March 16, 2020. Good night, Thousand Oaks.